Y'all, this your boy, Nip Plus once again. Just hollering at y'all real quick. Some nigga need to address out here in these streets, cuz niggas call themselves real niggas and gangbangers and all that. Stop every time you niggas take a loss running for your pistols, my nigga. Feel me? Fucking the game up. Setting the wrong example. Niggas think that's the way it's supposed to go. Feel me, nigga? Hop out there, do what he do, win, lose, or draw, nigga. Sick salt. All that other shit is for the bars, my nigga.
Welcome back to The Proud. In our first episode, we laid out the vision. We talked about the extinction crisis and the 12 and 18-year-olds who are caught in the crossfire. But a mission this big requires more than just a founder. It requires a foundation and a vision without a backbone, and it's just a dream. To stop extinction, we need infrastructure. We need governance. We need foundation. Today, I am joined by the man who helps keep the Blue Panthers vision on track. He not only helps steer the ship, he brings years of leadership experience to our table, and he serves as the vice chair of our board of directors. Welcome to the show, Paul Walker.
Thank you.
All right, so Paul, today we're going to be asking you some questions about the leadership commitment to the mission and explain why Blue Panthers is a smart investment for our community. So let's go ahead and jump right into it, Paul. So we're going to start out with the heart of the mission. So, Paul, when did you first hear about the Blue Panthers vision, and what was the specific moment you decided to move from a supporter to a board leader?
The moment I first heard about it, 4 or 5 years ago, instantly, as soon as you told me about your dream and the vision that you had for this movement, I was on board. And for the things that I've been through, you know, I'm bringing in my end on a certain level that's very important to this mission. You know, but I was on board from the moment I heard.
Okay, it's all right. Thank you. All right, so look at here, Paul. So our name, Black Lives Under Extinction, is bold. What does that name mean to you personally when you think about the kids we serve?
Black Lives Under Extinction. Well, personally, I've already lost a black life. Okay? Part of me, yeah. 20 years old. For 30 days, he was 20 years old and gunned down 30 days after his birthday. So, Black Lives Under Extinction is a real live thing to me. It's not something I heard on TV. I live it. I felt it.
Okay. All right.
I seen it.
That's a good answer, Paul. So, okay, Paul, let me ask you another question here. And this is still the heart of the mission. We focus on ages 12 and 18, or 12 through 18. In your view, why is this the most important window for intervention?
From 12 to 18? Yes. That's preteens. That's preteens up until you're about to become a man. Those are very important years where an individual is trying to find himself and find out where they belong and how they fit in. Some of them are feeling awkward about their lives or whatever. So those are very tender ages, you know. Once as reachable ages, you know what I'm saying? We could reach them at that age, but then again, the wrong influence can reach them just as quick and heavy.
Exactly.
You know? So those are some very important years.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, Paul, so we're going to move on to, this is the foundation part of the episode, Paul. So, people often wonder what a board actually does. How do you and the board ensure that every dollar donated to Blue Panther is being used effectively to reach these kids?
Well, we keep track of everything that comes in and everything that goes out. Okay? Whatever's allotted to, whatever part of the organization that money's allotted to, is very detailed to keep track of what goes in and what goes out.
For these
Okay,
kids, of course.
for the kids, and everything is moving towards helping these kids.
Of course.
Everything. So that's the most detailed part of what the board does. You know, besides making decisions on which direction to go with the organization. Yeah, or even which direction we're going in, all the way down to our mission statement. Everything. It's very detailed and very to the point. Every word and every dollar.
Right. Okay, so here another question for you, Paul. So we want to build a new tribe for these kids. How is the board of directors building a tribe of its own to support the organization's growth?
Well, we recruit individuals that put it like this. There's different parts of a tribe. Certain people do certain things in a tribe. Whatever talent that person has, whether it's protection, whether it's speaking, whether it's leading, whatever it is, to make the whole tribe move together as one. Okay, with the same mission to protect these kids. But there's many different moving parts. So we watch out for people that will fit in with our movement,
of course,
in certain ways.
Right, because if they haven't walked the walk and talked the talk 9 times out of 10, these kids ain't going to be able to.
They're not gonna relate.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Yeah, to what's saying. So.
All right, Paul. So now we're going to move on to the third round of questions here. So it's called the conviction. So if we are on the front page of the news in 5 years, Paul, what do you want the headline to say about the impact Blue Panther has made on this city?
My vision is seeing the headlines of a powerful movement, an effective movement. There's stats where certain numbers have came down, certain negative numbers come down, maybe deaths or arrests.
Right. Going
down, and those stats are related to the Blue Panthers in that headline.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, okay, Paul, you deal with strategy and numbers. What would you say to a business owner who is considering a donation but wants to know the economic value of keeping a child out of the justice system? The economic value of keeping a kid out of the justice system.
That's a good question. The economic value keeping the kid out. Well, it costs a lot of money to incarcerate these kids, or any individual for that matter. So,
and the taxpayer's gonna pay for it.
And the taxpayer's gonna pay for it. You know. So if we can keep them out of that system, money will go in other areas.
Right, as far as like the program curriculum that we
curriculum and things like that. Yeah,
exactly.
So
that's the answer I was looking for from you.
Exactly.
The answer I was looking for.
That's what it is.
All right, Paul. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you could speak directly to a 14-year-old listening right now, who feels like a gang is his only option, Paul, what would you tell him about the family waiting for him at the Blue Panthers?
Tell him about us. What would I tell him about us? I'm going to let him know that we're going to show him how he can be the difference. How he can stand out as the difference. And not stand out as someone to be feared in a violent way. he can be feared mentally because he's smarter than the other.
Because all kids are smart. They just
Very smart,
yeah,
very smart.
but they're very
They're,
easily influenced as well.
they're
So
very easily
you know,
influenced.
if we can
So
get like so with our mentorship, if we can get the right mentors in there to mentor these kids that are walking or that have walked in the shoes that they're trying to feel now, then we can guide them out of them shoes and into some different shoes, into a different path in life. Because there's other things besides gangs, drugs. You know, there's a future in schooling and in
exactly, that's what I was saying.
family.
Mentally, you know,
Exactly. Yeah.
education, making the right moves. Man, I mean, there's so much out there.
Right.
So much out there.
We got to get to the heart of it. As Blue
Yeah.
Panthers, we got to get to the heart.
I mean, one kid can be the difference.
Exactly. There you go.
You know, this one we got to show him how he can be the difference and the effect, the positive effect he can have on his peers.
Exactly.
You know,
because each one can teach one and reach one. Exactly.
exactly.
So, Paul, one more in this first segment. Try to think of one specific story or example of a youth you've seen or a situation that moved you. I mean, it can. I mean, it could be already know. You already know. It could be your son. I mean, that's point blank, straight, simple. You know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, that is the one and only example that I would have. It moved me. Of course, it was tragic, and it will remain to be that. But however, a lot of positive can come out of it.
Of course.
Okay, I watched at my son's funeral. The pastor who was doing the funeral and gave. He asked if there's any other young adults in this church today that want to go the opposite direction. Please come up to the front of the church. And I watched some of these brothers, after looking at their friend, my son, laying in that casket, they walked up there and gave their life over to Christ and was ready for that change.
That's good. That's good.
That's one thing I'll never forget.
And it's sad that it takes that, but sometimes that's what it takes. And
it
really doesn't matter what it takes to turn your life over and do the right thing. You know, as long as you do it, make that change and make that move to make that change. So, so I appreciate that, man. Thank you for that. And audience, thanks you as well. So we're going to go ahead and move on, Paul. So this part of the segment is called the professional commitment. Okay, Paul, let's start with the head. All right, we're going to jump right in right now. You're a leader in this community. You know that a lot of people see gang intervention and they get nervous. They think it's too dangerous or too far gone. What was it about the Blue Panthers' approach that made you, as a professional, say, this isn't just a good idea, this is a necessary investment?
It's, it's a necessary investment, without a doubt. It all goes back to what I live with, and I live with the loss, you know. So investing in this, I can gain a lot. A lot of kids can gain from the investment I'm putting in this. They can keep their lives.
Because that's what's most important here too.
That's what's most important. So that's the biggest gain. That's getting another life saved.
Okay. So you and I, Paul, have talked about the 12 to 18-year-old window. So that's the high risk zone. From your perspective on the board, how do we protect the organization while we're working in these high stakes environments with these children?
Say that again.
So you and I, we talked about the 12 to 18-year-old window, and it's the high risk zone. From your perspective on the board, how do we protect the organization while we're working in these high stakes environments with these kids?
I think it's all about our approach. You know, we have to be careful because we are dealing with minors until they reach 18 at least. So how we approach them is very important for protection of the Blue Panthers, and we have to approach them in a way where they can understand and relate to what we're trying to do. So there's a way to approach the whole thing to protect them and us.
Right. So say for instance, so in selecting mentors, so that's another important part. So we will also, as far as like selecting them mentors, we will do background checks on them mentors, because
definitely.
we want to keep that kid safe, and we want to make sure that there's no harm comes to them while they're in our care. And so that was really what I was getting at. That's a good answer, because they are first and foremost. And then of course we have to protect ourselves as a business and to make sure that is strict.
So to be honest and blunt, the background checks, no sexual crimes, none.
None at all.
It's an automatic
it's not
rejection.
Yeah.
Now, we will have mentors that do have a criminal background,
of course,
because they're the ones
walking them shoes
that have been there before.
Exactly.
So there's just certain crimes that will disqualify immediately.
So Paul, so you've seen a lot of organizations. What was it about our 4-week trial curriculum that made you say this actually works?
Let me tell you why this works. It can't not work.
That's right.
It can't not work. Okay.
And I'm sure you're saying that because of the dedication that we've been distributing.
It can't not work. It can't not work.
So
that's all I can say about that.
And that's what I wanted to hear, because that 4-week trial curriculum, brother, is set in stone. And it's going to touch and move a lot of kids and change their lives. So yeah, that's a great answer, brother. Great answer. All right, so we're going to move on, Paul. So Paul, let's talk about numbers for a second, because the board handles the business of change. People often complain about their tax dollars or the crime rates in our city, but they don't look at the cost of incarceration. We discussed that. Can you discuss that a little further with our audience for just a minute?
One more time.
So, okay, let me get back for you. So, because the board handles the business of change, people often complain about their tax dollars or the crime rates in our city, but they don't look at the cost of incarceration. Can you discuss that with our audience for just a minute?
Well, I think if they look at the statistics, the crime rate goes down, the body count goes down, and complaining about their tax dollars is minute. They don't mean anything.
Right. So there shouldn't be any adult business owner or any adult at all out there that's against trying to stop these juveniles from going to the juvenile justice system, because they're paying for it. I mean, and that's just simple. And on my first podcast, I actually gave the numbers out for that. It's steep. It's like, and not quoting me on this, but it's like 100,000 or something a year just for one juvenile for incarceration. You know what I'm saying to you? So the cost of our plan with the 4-week trial curriculum is a lot cheaper than that. And so it's good to stop these kids right there and introduce them to that trial curriculum, as opposed to wait until they get to the juvenile justice system, because once they get there, you're already paying for them. You've already paid. So it's kind of too late for your tax dollars then. So let's stop them before they get there. So that's what I was wanting, because that's what we need to do. We need to stop these juveniles before they get into that juvenile justice system. And we need to make sure that them tax dollars are staying with the community. That way we can build more things. We can build more businesses. We, instead of concentrating on housing an individual, you know what I'm saying, to you with this tax dollar. So that's a good answer.
And more programs.
Right. So that's what I was looking for, because
stuff like
the more
that.
these kids we can keep out of the juvenile justice system, the more the taxpayer can keep their own money in their pocket. Not saying coming to us, but just to keep their own money in their pocket. And hopefully we can get a low investment to help stop these kids from going to the juvenile justice.
Right.
All right. So that's a powerful point. That's a very powerful point. So we are literally saving the taxpayers money by saving lives. As vice chair, how are you helping us find those founding sponsors who understand that helping Blue Panthers is actually a smart business move?
Well, there's I wouldn't call it marketing, but it basically it's approaching man, it's hard to say. It's approaching organizations that want to see a safer community or change. Everybody. We seek out organizations that are looking for change and a better way of life. We keep our eyes and ears open to nonprofits, other nonprofits, other programs that are full of hope for a better future. Anything like that is what we're going to go after. So.
All right, Paul.
It's a wide spectrum. I mean, there's a lot of avenues, a lot of companies, a lot of organizations, a lot of people personally who would love to help. There's a lot of people out there with a lot of money would love to help change.
Save these kids' lives.
Save the kids' lives. Make schools safer.
Right.
Everything else, things like that.
There's nothing wrong with anything that you're saying, because all of that helps everybody. It helps the community. It helps the quality of life. And so all of this them is all good points.
Yep.
So a lot of people, Paul, also when they hear board of directors, they think people in suits just signing papers. But at the Blue Panthers, our board members will be in the trenches. As vice chair, how do you see the board's role in the protection of these kids, in protecting these kids?
Using what we already have. We've been in the trenches.
Exactly.
It's we'll go back in the trenches and dig out. Dig them out. Pull them out.
Because that's what you do in war.
In war, yeah. You don't leave one behind.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
If they're stuck in there, pull them out.
Yeah.
All right, Paul. So we tell the kids they need a new tribe to survive. But we've also built a tribe on our board. Tell the listeners about the diversity of thought we have on this board. How do we hold each other accountable?
Man, we're like a family. Okay. If one of us was to fall behind, we're like a flock of geese.
That's right.
Okay. We're leading this. We're breaking the wind for the rest of the board and the rest of the volunteers or whatever. While we're leading the way, we're breaking the wind. When we land, another one of us takes the lead when we go back up. Okay, that's what this board is like. It's like a family. If one is injured or if one is having issues, we will tend to our other board member that's having issues. or anything in life is going wrong, and make sure that him or her are in the right headspace.
That's right. And that
You know?
and that's bringing me to my next question. That you
Yeah.
And so I don't want you to get I don't want you to get ahead of me. So let me get that question to you.
Yeah.
So if someone is listening and they have a skill, maybe they're an accountant, a lawyer, a project manager, and they want to join the tribe at the board level, what are we looking for in a Blue Panther leader? He was getting ready to touch on that. So I was deciding what we got to.
No, we need people that have all that have different professions and talents and stuff like that. Definitely to accountants, secretary, you know, so forth. So and that person, first of all, that person's got to believe in the mission. I don't care what they could do or whatever. If they're strong on their mission, then they've already got my.
That's what I was looking for from.
Yeah, they already
got. First and foremost, they have to be.
They have to believe in the mission.
Believe in that mission.
Okay, and so whatever they have that can help us in this mission, whether they know how to count, they know how to talk to the public, they know how to go after whatever it is we need to go after. Bring it. But first of all, they got to believe in the mission, first and foremost.
All right, Paul. So, if there's a business owner or a community leader listening right now who is on the fence about supporting us, what would you say to them, not as a founder, but as the vice chair?
What would I say to them?
So, if there was a...
No, I understand the question.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. You know what? I have a personal conversation about my experience. Okay. My experience is a grim reality of the end result. The end results of what can happen if there isn't a mission like this, and what's going to continue to happen. I do have pictures. I am working on a documentary on being a homicide survivor. And the pictures that I have are of the crime scene of my son's homicide. And they're graphic. And they're real. It's not a movie.
Of course, not at all.
You know what I'm saying? So, me, instead of crumbling and breaking down, and because I lost my child, wouldn't be the right thing to do. The right thing to do is try to make sure this doesn't happen to somebody else's child. You know what I'm saying? And to let them know, could have been your child, or could be your grandchild.
We're trying to save your child from that happening.
We're trying to, yeah. You don't want to wait until you get that phone call, because when you get that phone call, it's too late. It's over.
Thank you, Paul. That was very powerful. All right, and I want to thank you for your leadership and for being the backbone of this new tribe. So, and actually, before we get ready to get out of here, Paul, I got another little session that I want to have with you. It's called the rapid fire segment. All right.
Okay.
So, before we get out of here, I want to do this round. So, what I'll do is I'll give you a word. You give me the first thing that comes to your mind regarding Blue Panthers.
Okay.
All right. We're going to start right now. The streets.
Battlefield.
All right. The Panther logo.
Protection.
That's right. 501c3.
Being accountable. Accountability.
There you go. That's right. So, a 14-year-old Paul with no father figure.
Mm-hmm. That's our priority.
It's number one. Our number one priority. Thank you for that. That's all I have. Because I want to see if you're going to be able to come up top of your head. I want to see if he was giving us some it's good.
Well, I'll hold it down, you know that.
So, Paul, let's give it to him straight. We're in 2026. The world is moving fast. If we don't fund this curriculum right now, what happens to these kids we are trying to save today?
We buried them.
There you go. Or we see them through bars. So real quick, Paul, let's talk about donors and volunteers stepping up. Okay, you heard? So that was good what you just said, because everybody needs to hear what you're saying and hear what Panthers are saying. The foundation is set. The board is ready. Now we just need you. We just need you to visit us at bluepanthers.com and join the Proud. So this concludes episode 2 of the Proud Podcast. Be sure to tune in on March 1st for the interview with the president of the Blue Panthers.